Browns fans, it is finally here. That's right, we are finally talking about real football. I'm not talking fourth and fifth string guys. With all due respect, we like the preseason, but we don't love the preseason. But what we do love is regular season football, and that's on the menu. Week 1 right around the corner. It's against the Kansas City Chiefs, the defending AFC champs, a rematch of the divisional round a year ago. I can't wait. And before we get into it, we've got some injury news and rumors coming at you guys. The latest update coming out of Cleveland ahead of this Week 1 matchup. Some big names, including star wide receiver OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr. He's coming off that torn ACL. Went down October 25th, Week 7 of 2020. So about 10 and a half months ago has been his rehab so long. Did not play at all in the preseason. Came up at the end of training camp, started getting more active in 11-on-11 drills and not just individual stuff on the sideline. How close is he to 100%? I don't think he's quite there yet, and I think you're going to see that in Week 1 against the Chiefs when he probably goes for, say 75 to 80% of the snaps, but he won't be a decoy out there. It won't be that situation. However, OBJ in Cleveland, it's been a bit of a roller coaster so far. Last season was a bit of an interesting one because the Browns, you know how the story goes, actually played better without him than with him in some ways, and Baker Mayfield's stats showed that. But this is a Browns team that needs OBJ, all right? Look at the depth chart here now. Odell Beckham Jr., of course, the biggest name of the mix there. But the Browns, they're only carrying 5 wide receivers in this game. You see Davion Davis at the bottom. He's still in that 2-game suspension. So Cleveland's got 5 wideouts, and OBJ, they need him for sure. I mean, after that, Jarvis Landry, Rashard Higgins, and DPJ, they're exciting guys, don't get me wrong. But when you're playing Kansas City, you need to score, all right? That's the only way you're going to beat them. So does OBJ need to score a touchdown versus Kansas City? I sure hope so. Or will he? Type T for touchdown or N for not yet down in the comments. I think he's going to get one. Why? I think this is a Cleveland team that can work itself into the red zone without much of an issue. And OBJ, I mean, he's just good between all facets of the field, right? Between each end zone, between the hash marks, everywhere Odell Beckham shines. But let me know what you're thinking. Will Odell Beckham Jr. score a touchdown versus Kansas City? Speaking of Kansas City, if you can't wait for Week 1, it is less than a week away, then go ahead and subscribe right now to the Browns Report. Plain and simple, we're going to give you the best there is, right? In the words of Ricky Bobby, we piss excellence. So go ahead and subscribe right now to the Browns Report for all the greatest news and rumors content going into Week 1. Grant Delpit has been one of the biggest storylines throughout the training camp and preseason because of his lack of availability, all right? The 2020 second-round pick in the NFL draft missed all of last season with that ruptured Achilles. Coming into this year, a bit of a question mark. It's tough to bounce back from an Achilles injury, especially in your first season in the NFL. And unfortunately, he follows it up with a hamstring injury and missed all preseason. So has yet to even take an NFL snap, preseason or regular season, but it's looking good for Week 1. But here's the story. Here's how we got here. Last season, tears that Achilles late in training camp, August 24th. Then you fast forward to this preseason, coming into training camp, looking like he'll be close to a full go. I mean, it takes a while to recover from an Achilles injury. Early in training camp, has an hamstring injury. Okay, we're going to bounce back from it. Then on August 17th, he comes back from this hamstring injury, and on the 18th, he re-aggravates it. So literally the next day from his return, re-aggravates the hamstring injury, and here we are, Week 1, September 12th. How ready will he be? Well, here's the depth chart for the Browns, okay? In that secondary right now, Delpit will not start. It's going to be Harrison and Johnson, and that's not too surprising. I think if Delpit shines in the first couple weeks, he can replace Ronnie Harrison. But for now, Delpit will come in for more of those explosive diamond nickel packages that they'll need when the Chiefs throw out bigger wide receiver units. And hey, this is the Kansas City Chiefs we're talking about. I mean, it's Tyreek Hill, Mecole Hardman. I mean, they've got so many weapons. You can never be unprepared when you're playing against the Kansas City Chiefs in your secondary. But this is a guy that we're really excited to see because he didn't get to play at all last season. And this season looked a little gloomy after some hamstring injuries. So show Grant Delpit some love, all right? Hop in the comments, whatever you want to say. You know what I mean? Just go Delpit. Like the video is a great way to show him some love. I can't wait to see him suit up for the Browns and take his first NFL regular season or even preseason snap. So like the video, do what you got to do to show Delpit some love for his Browns debut. Browns fans, do what you guys do best. Next up, Greedy Williams, the cornerback who also missed all of last season and is, by the way, the third LSU Tiger we've talked about today. All three of these players, LSU alums, all three coming off injury seasons a year ago. So last year, the story was he missed all of 2020 with some nerve damage in his shoulder. This season, he was kind of in a training camp battle with Greg Newsome for that second cornerback spot. It's just some hamstring injuries for him in the training camp and preseason have derailed that, alignment to have him start again after starting 12 games in 2019. So right now he's going to sit behind Greg Newsome to start this first game. Troy Hill's going to be your slot corner most likely. So Greedy Williams and Greg Newsome, they're not going to split reps necessarily, but anything can happen when you're playing Kansas City. All right, and you can tell, Tyreek Hill can embarrass people. He did that against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the regular season last year. So I would expect him and Greg Newsome to not be in a rotation, but to be bouncing in and out of each other. And also, inevitably, the Chiefs are going to throw 4 to 5 wide receiver looks at you. So Williams may not be a starter, but he's definitely going to have a role in this game and will not be limited to 15 to 20 snaps or anything like that. But the secondary gets me really excited, honestly. So who will lead the Browns in interceptions this season? You could go with the headline name, Denzel Ward, or you can go under the radar, right? Greedy Williams, or maybe someone like Troy Hill coming from the LA Rams in free agency, like John Johnson. Bunch of great options. Fantastic Browns secondary. Let me know your INT leader this season down in the comments. Cleveland and Kansas City for the rematch. I can't wait, right? One, you just can't wait for regular season football because preseason is an appetizer. But once regular season, it's like a charcuterie board that you never wanted, okay? You just can't wait for the real stuff. And this is a rematch, 22-17, when the Browns and the Chiefs played in the divisional round back in the 2020 playoffs. Patrick Mahomes went down, and then, pardon my French, but fucking Chad Henne just pulls out, I don't even know what to call it, that bizarre fourth down conversion to Tyreek Hill. So, whole new fight this time. Browns are healthy. They've got Odell Beckham back. They've got their secondary in full force with Delpit and Greedy Williams. A bunch of returning players. Hopefully not a banged-up offensive line last time. This is going to be a great matchup. Probably one of, if not the best afternoon slate in week 1. So get ready for that one. And the best way to get ready, go ahead and subscribe to the Cleveland Browns Report right now. Make that big red subscribe button a big gray button. Because you know what? Once you subscribe, you get to see all the Browns news and rumor content. And how about some post-game recaps? Because we're going to be hopefully talking about a Browns 1-0 start after this week 1 matchup.